is up, everyone? So we just arrived. The room is really cute. I've been here before and they actually renovated. They used to be a lot more like rustic chic was the vibe. They're actually a lot more modern now. We have an awesome view. We're gonna go check out the nature center and just kind of walk around for a little bit. I have orientation in like an hour. And that's like an hour-long thing. I assume they're gonna tell us like when our classes are, because the thing that they gave me, like the little schedule, it tells us like the class times, but it doesn't say which ones to go to. So I assume orientation is gonna take care of that. So yes, we've only been here for about 30 minutes. The drive was very pretty, like coming into the mountains. Last time I was here, we didn't actually explore the land at all, like the surrounding area very much. There's Babe, say hi. So we're gonna do that now. Excuse my appearance. I just got out of class and I have a headache. I didn't have my second coffee for the day, and I think I'm just recording myself because I don't have an external microphone for this camera yet. But we just got out of class and it was a lot. It was a lot. We had to like go around and introduce ourselves to each other and do all of that kind of thing that you do when you go to one of these sort of things, and that took like, I think there's 16 of us, so that took maybe like an hour or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. I think there's 16 of us. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I have homework, so it'll be fun. It's like picking a movie scene, like your favorite scene from a movie, and like describing it. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it, but it's been really cool so far. Boyfriend and he went on a walk while I was in class because they're like 3-hour sessions, so he's got to kind of keep himself busy while I'm in class. So this past one was like 2:30 to 5:30, something like that. 5:30 to 7:30 is dinner, like come and go. I have no idea what the limited menu is going to be, so we're going to go get dinner. Good morning, everyone. So it is turning into a little bit of a writing workshop from hell. I've stayed at this place before, this lodge, and it was in 2016, I think. I was a college student. I didn't have high expectations. Dinner wasn't great. I can tell you that story later. I just woke up, so maybe not the best time to tell you right now. Breakfast was probably one of the most spare, like continental breakfasts I've ever had. Couldn't get into our room. We went to the front desk and got new key cards. Those still didn't work. Maintenance had to come. It's just been not the worst thing in the world. These are privileged problems. These are not really things to complain about, but anyway, hopefully the day gets better. It is beautiful. There is not a cloud in the sky, so it feels like I'm in VR when I look outside. That's kind of making up for it. I also didn't do my homework last night that I was supposed to do. It's not required or anything, but I didn't do it because we didn't get back from dinner until almost like 9, because we had to wait like an hour and a half. 2 hours. Almost 2 hours.
2 hours.
It was from like 6:30 to 8:30 at least, and then it was almost 9 by the time we got back. So didn't really do what I was kind of told to do or encouraged to do for homework. Totally optional, but this morning's outfit. A little wrinkled from being in the suitcase. The coffee was not great, so we're gonna try to survive this day without another headache. Anyway, off to class. All right, so session 1 is officially done. Well, I guess yesterday was like the official session 1, but like the first full session day is complete, if that makes any sense. We were just doing like writing prompts and stuff. Anyway, it's lunchtime. We get like a 2-hour break. Lunch is like come and go in the Lookout Kitchen. I think that's what the restaurant's called. They have a different plan for lunch, so hopefully it's better and goes by smoother and we don't wait 2 hours to eat. Boyfriend is like directly across from our room. Like I'm looking out at him over the balcony and he found a spot. I think there's a path. It's a beautiful day. Like it's gorgeous outside right now. So I'm gonna go find whatever path he found and go meet him. I'm gonna go. I need some sunshine, I need some exercise. Just sitting in class for like 3 hours, it's a lot of just sitting. It's kind of weird to be back here because like so much in my life has changed since the last time I was here. It's kind of trippy because it kind of feels like going back in time, but it's like so different. It's interesting. It's such beautiful weather though. It's literally like the perfect day. We've already seen so much wildlife too. We saw that porcupine this morning, and then he saw a deer somewhere over here. So lots of birds, of course. I think everybody is at lunch, and that's why I got lucky, and there's literally nobody else on this trail. What? Yeah, it's big. So I realize I don't even think I've said where I am. This is Quartz Mountain State Park, and there's a lodge here. You can stay here throughout the year, but there are a couple weeks in summer and a couple weeks in fall where they do an arts institute, which is what I'm doing. That's the workshop that I'm doing. But if you do want to come stay here and you're not interested in the workshop part, then you can book a room here. Boyfriend and I are thinking about coming back maybe later in the year when it cools off even more, like later in October or November, and just camping, because there's some campgrounds like not even a mile down the road, just for kind of a different experience if we want to rough it a little bit more. But that is where I am. I don't think I've actually said that yet. Saturday, so it is the last full day that I'm here. Boyfriend just got lovely breakfast and was very kind and bought me some coffee. He literally had to go to like shut up. He had to go to like a town that was like 15 minutes south of here because the coffee here sucks. The coffee here is not very good. And I love iced coffee anyway, so he went to this town that's like, you know, a drive. He had to go for like fishing supplies and tackle and stuff anyway, so now we're gonna have a lovely breakfast of oatmeal and store-bought muffins. has not been the greatest here. So this was a vegetarian option, so I'm gonna eat some, looks like Mexican, I guess, eat some food while I edit this poem. It's nearly 8 o'clock. I feel like the time is just going by so fast. I feel like that happens when you're on some sort of like deadline. We want to put our poems on display tomorrow morning for kind of like a walkthrough. I think it's just called a walkthrough, and we get to go to all the studios and see what other people have made. And I'm overthinking it, I think, a little bit. And it doesn't really, my poem doesn't really, we've tried all these different like formats and different like models throughout the last couple of days. And I feel like mine doesn't even really match any of them, and they wanted to, like, everybody in my group wants to like categorize them and like group them together, and like, oh, this type of poem, you know, whoever wants to share this one will put their poem here, and whoever wants to share this type of poem we did can put it over here. And this one I feel like doesn't really fit because it's just been like changing and expanding, and it's gotten so far away from like the original, like how it was intended originally. So anyway, I am still gonna like work on it, obviously, probably until quite a bit later. I've got 3 stanzas that I'm fairly pleased with. I need 2 more, I'm thinking, and it's gonna be done. I'm also editing a thumbnail. I realize my September like wrap up has not even gone up yet. I've been pretty crap about Vlogtober because I've been at this retreat, like actively attending class, and haven't had time to like just film and edit and upload because we've been like doing things, and I've been like working on different poems and things. So anyway, and I definitely want to make it shorter. Like I want to make it a lot more concise and pin back and take out as much as I possibly can. We'll see if I even finish it. If I don't, I'm just gonna put up some random, very short, like 8-line something. I'm too much of a perfectionist for these kinds of things. I don't like working on deadlines and stuff. It stresses me out, but at least it'll actually get done this way, because I have a feeling if I just continued and was like, you know, okay, go home and finish it, like it would just never get finished. So it is kind of good that I'm on a deadline because it means I have to actually complete it. What is up, guys? So you made it to the end of the video. I am back from my workshop. I've been back for a couple of days now. Highly recommend. I know I complained a little bit about the food and stuff. Basically, the restaurant they have there was like new. They were kind of working out the kinks. It was a lot of fun. So there's 3 weekends. I was at weekend 1, so that's why they were kind of working some things out with the restaurant. It is a gorgeous place. I hope you could tell. I feel like footage of like landscapes it never fully encapsulates a place because you just can't on camera. And I just have a little vlog camera, so I couldn't get like close-ups of a lot of like the birds and stuff. Whatever those white birds are, I got a really good shot of one. I think it's the same type of bird when we were in Georgia. It's one of my favorite photos that I took while we were there, and I kept wanting to get close to those white birds and get another really cool shot of one, but they just stayed over the water, and so I couldn't get out like onto the water. It was so quiet in the mornings. It was so quiet at night. It's one of the most serene places I've maybe ever been, kind of like out in the Oklahoma Panhandle, which is much further north, at Black Mesa. I feel like if you live in a city or even a suburb, you're so used to the sounds of like traffic and the highway, just things, just people and things and life happening kind of in the background. And so when all that's taken away, you realize it's there all the time. And when it's not, all of a sudden, it just like, it's kind of crazy. I actually wanted to show you guys some things that I picked up while I was there from the gift shop and from the store. So I got a little sticker. They had like multiple of these in different styles. But that was the one that I liked the most. I'm that person, like I always slap a sticker like on the back windshield. It's like covered with all of these different kind of stickers from places that I've been. It's almost like a little scrapbook on the back windshield of my car, so I had to get one of those, of course. And then I did pick up the 2 poetry books that they had available from Brian Turner, who was the workshop guest or workshop leader, the person who runs it. He was the person we were like listening to, who was like giving us the prompts and everything. So first we have the Goodbye World poem. And these I think are new. Like these just came out this year. I want to say the publication date is 2023. He's got a memoir. He writes a lot of war poems. That was something I didn't know. I kind of went in blind. I didn't really read too much about him, just so I didn't have anything in my head about the person. I could just like meet them. So there's this one, and then there's also this one, The Wild Delight of Wild Things. I love jellyfish. I love this cover. And the way he talked about literature, he would use music references, and he would talk a lot about like rhythm, and not a lot, but he mentioned like music theory and stuff a few times, which I thought was cool. Because that's how he hears poetry when he's writing and when he's reading. So I'm really excited for these. I have an absolutely packed TBR because of this Reading Around the World challenge that I've been doing. And then I have some like more spooky books that I want to read for October. So I don't honestly think I'm going to be able to get to him super soon. So I have a couple of those that I'm excited to read. I do recommend that workshop if you guys are interested at all in something like that. I was able to go on scholarship, but it normally costs anywhere from like $600 to $700. I want to say it was like $675 out of pocket, and then you can pay extra if you want like a private room, which is what boyfriend and I did, because I think you do have to share with another participant usually. Lots of people brought like their entire family, like they brought all of their kids with them and stuff, so you can sort of like make a vacation out of it instead of it just being like an educational experience as well. It's really inspiring. I recommend it if you are kind of in a funk. It's a really great time to just kind of pause on like work or whatever kind of life things you're normally doing, and take a beat to just be creative. I think I needed a minute to just kind of slow down. I tend to go really fast in life, and when you're going really fast and kind of like you're like me and you sort of make a to-do list for everything, it's easy to kind of miss the slow beauty of life and like nature. If I just kind of slowed down and took a breath, which is what Quartz Mountain allowed me to do, I would be able to notice more things and get inspired naturally. It really encouraged me to like take a step back, just sit at the edge of the lake and just listen to the quiet. So it was a really lovely experience. So hopefully my videos will pick up a little bit, because I've obviously taken a little bit of a break with the videos, so that I could actually fully engage in that retreat. I am about to bake some cookies and do a little stationery haul, and that will be in my next video. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. There have just been some changes that, babe, you need to pretend like you're out in public, because you kind of are right there. You want to say hi?